Hey YouTube, this is Sullyzors making a video. This is my first live Showdown video, and the team I'm using is a Mega Pinsir team. I have standard Mega Pinsir, Assault-Vest Conkeldurr, Life Orb Genesect, Lander's T with Assault-Vest as well. This is kind of a gimmicky set, but you'll see its use later in the battles. Rotom W, Chest Arresto, especially defensive, and physically defensive Heatran with Stealth Rocks. Now this is a really fun team. I made this team and this new account on Showdown with the idea of trying to start from scratch and see if I can hit 2,000 rating in one go. And I'm going to play until I hit 2,000 or until I lose. You guys will see that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the battles. Yeah. I lead with my Assault-Vest Conkeldurr because it has a good matchup versus his team. Everything except for his Talonflame, essentially. He leads with Frostlass. Kind of expecting him to get some spikes up here, so I just go for the knockoff, and he doesn't even have a Focus Sash, and so that takes him out. I didn't even notice this when I was playing through, but he disabled my knockoff. Anyways, his best play now is going to Talonflame, which threatens me, and if he does that, I can just go straight into my Heatran, set up some rocks. I'm getting ahead of myself though. Yes. So yeah, he goes into Talonflame. And I'm just waiting for him to make the move. Okay, I switch into Heatran. He gives me a Flash Fire boost here. Usually I would set up Stealth Rocks, but I look at his team and everything is weak to fire, so I just go for the Lava Plume, and that's a dead Escadrille. Had he switched into anything else or kept his Talonflame in, he could have brought that in as a revenge killer, but yeah, that little over prediction there is going to cost him. This guy is really chill. He was actually laughing about how he's going to get swept by the Heatran. Usually people get pissed off when they're about to lose points, but this guy's pretty chill about it. I hope our battle helped him improve his team. So yeah, brings out his Cloyster. I really have no reason to switch out, even if he has Hydro Pump. That won't one-hit KO me. And so I just go for the Lava Plume again. And he is Life Orbed. And so yeah, I just take him out. I think at this point he realizes he can't win and he runs. I'm pretty sure it's at this point. Yeah. I guess I'll talk a bit more about the team. Lander's T, I'm running a weird set on it. Yeah, he forfeits. So this puts me up to about 1,270. And yeah, I get a next one. So looking at his team, I am not happy to see the Klefki. Klefki isn't like a really threatening Pokemon, but it really is the epitome of luck in Pokemon, because you can easily kill it in one move and gain a boost, or it can troll and cripple / kill half your team, depending on just how lucky or unlucky you are. Anyways, he doesn't lead with it. I led with my Lander's T, which is physically defensive, expecting it. My Lander's T is also Assault-Vest, like my Conkeldurr. The reason I'm running that on it instead of leftovers is I find things like Mega Lucario can be a bit of a problem for this team, and with the extra special defense I can survive both variations of it, any move, and kill with an Earthquake, which is a benefit. So yeah, Energy Ball does nothing. I U-turn out. Just hoping he didn't have HP Ice, which he didn't. That might have put me really low or killed me. But yeah, so I switch out, go into my Heatran, and he's got his Sticky Web up. If I was him, right here, I'd probably go into Breloom and put myself to sleep. But what does he do? He doesn't do that. He does something else. I can't remember. It was a while since I played this, now that I'm re-narrating it. Okay, he goes into his Charizard. I'm pretty sure it's a Charizard X, so I switch into my Landorus here. Oh, shoot. Fucking screensaver. Yeah, so I don't know if you missed that. Sorry, my screensaver went off. I went for Stone Edge, because they do good damage to him if he transforms or not, but I miss. And yeah, that's always awesome. You know, threat setting up in your face, you miss a move. And yeah, so there goes my Landorus T. The friggin' screensaver is really annoying. If I don't move the mouse every 5 minutes, it's gonna go off, so I gotta be on that. I'm sorry if it happens again, it may just do that. Anyways, go into my Genesect. This Genesect is offensive Life Orb Extreme Speed variant, so I'm gonna go for an Extreme Speed here, and his Flare-Vis recoil should kill him. You know, he could have also killed me with Earthquake, so I guess he didn't have it. Probably had Thunder Punch. Because if Charizard X doesn't carry Thunder Punch, then it's completely walled by Togekiss, and other things wall it really easily too. Alright, so here I was expecting him to go into his Breloom, as he does, and I get out my Pinsir, and I use this chance to use Quick Attack. I know 4 times super effective. Stab off 155 base attack is going to destroy its face. And here I'm pretty sure he's going to Thunder Wave. That's good. I just wanted to get Pinsir off the ground so the sticky web wouldn't affect it anymore. Yeah, my team has no Defogger or a Rapid Spinner. I figure that Pinsir really doesn't worry that much about hazards. You can just play around it. If they set up spikes, you evolve early. If they set up Stealth Rocks, then just wait out till you Mega Evolve. And yeah, everything else on my team takes neutral or resisted damage too, so no big deal. I also like to keep the momentum of this team up, and I find defogging really slows you down. I figure, you know, just let them remove their own hazards. If they're gonna defog, then they can defog their hazards as well as mine. So yeah, sorry, I go for Lava Plume here, and oh, he forfeits. Yeah, I kind of just got distracted from the match there, but yeah, I went for Lava Plume, just trying to break through the Parafusion. He switches out, I get a burn. I guess he got frustrated and left. I go for next one, and I'm at like 1450, 1460 now. This team's looking a little more solid than the first two. Or was that just the first one? I don't know, I'm tired. I'm not really sure how many videos it's been. This is the second battle. Okay, cool. I'm expecting him to go with Mamoswine, so I lead with my Genesect. I get the special attack boost, but I have Stab, Life Orb, Iron Head. I try to just kind of get a little hacks on him, and I actually get the flinch. I figured I'll go for U-turn, hit whatever he wants to bring in, unless he wants to let his Mamoswine die, which is fine with me. He won't get up rocks that way. So yeah, he decides to get that extra crucial 10% off on me. And Ice Shard. I would not have done that, but well, to each their own. I guess he gets momentum. So I think here I go into Conkeldurr, and from there, the only thing that really threatens me is a Azumarill, which I can switch in Rotom W against. I don't know why I'm taking so long to decide. That's really my best play. I'm not really in the same mindset as when I did this initially. But yeah. Okay, so I switch out Conkeldurr, and if he has any sense, he will go into his Azumarill. But it's still kind of lower on the ladder. Okay, he goes into Noivern. From here, this is a good opportunity for me to set up some rocks with Heatran. He goes for Switcheroo. I really was not expecting this. I've never had that used against me. And I'm kind of worried now that he's going to switch into his Azumarill and go for a Belly Drum. But I figured I'd just risk it. And I go for Stealth Rocks anyways. And he goes into Gastrodon. I'm not really sure why. Because it doesn't threaten. Like, I have 2 switches into it. I can switch into Rotom, I can switch into AV Conkeldurr. Like, I really am not threatened by it, so I'm not sure why he took advantage of my move lock to go into that. So yeah, I go into Conkeldurr, he gets a crit on me, no big deal. I think I go for knockoff here, expecting the Azumarill once again. My team is rather weak to it, that's why I'm focusing on it so much. I figure out when you play a team a lot, you kind of get to know like what it's weak against, and then you just try to predict for it, you know? So if your team is weak to Talonflame, you want to play in the way that is inconvenient for them to bring out their Talonflame, or that you'll hit it when it switches in. And just like that. So yeah, this team is kind of weak to Azumarill. Other than Rotom, I don't have anything really for it. And Rotom gets destroyed by Play Rough. Yeah, anyways, he Toxics me, and I destroy his life with a Drain Punch. Like, absolutely decimated. I'm just gonna check that. Okay, good. I was just checking that the battle music hadn't come back up on again, because this editor is not very good, and it seems to mess up a lot. So yeah, he goes Play Rough. I go for Rest, expecting him to switch out, not wanting to take a Will-O-Wisp, but to my dismay, he stays in, which honestly isn't a bad play. I expected him to switch out because he has a good switch in Venusaur for this. But yeah, so I cripple the Azumarill, and this is actually good. Like, initially I was worried, but this ends up being good for me because he's choice locked into a move that he is burned on. So I see this as a perfect opportunity to set up a Swords Dance. He decides to stay in and get some damage off on me. It does less than half. Pinsir is kind of frail, but it actually has decent defense, so it's able to take this okay. And I get a little greedy here, so I go for a second one, and I'm so glad he didn't get a crit. My attack is lower, but I'm at 2.5 now, and he does not appear to have a priority user. And unless his Gliscor is scarfed, I don't really see anything that can threaten me at this point. So yeah, I'm expecting the Noivern to come in, and he just does just that. +5, what is it? What am I at? I'm at, no, +3. Is it? Yeah, +3 quick attack is going to destroy him. He goes for the crucial Protect there. Very important. Yeah. And yeah, that crit didn't matter. And Judame, thanks for the match, buddy. You just got 5-0'd. And yeah. It's the end of the match. This puts me up at, I'm not quite sure. Like, when I was narrating initially, it said what I came up to, but I can't see that right now. So I think I'm at about 1500, 1550 or so. Let's get another one. The team is called the Reaper's Requiem. Pinsir is the Reaper. He just really destroys face. I remove a few threats, get up some rocks, and Pinsir just sweeps whole teams. Like, he's honestly such a huge threat in this metagame. Once you know how to play him and what counters him and what doesn't, you just remove a couple, 1 or 2 Pokemon from other players' team, find an opportunity, and you can sweep a team just like that. Good players will can't carry at least 1 hard counter to him. The biggest thing to worry about are probably Rotom W, Talonflame, and what's it called? Crobat. And perhaps like Scarfers and stuff like that, like a Scarfed Garchomp. But other than that, really, there isn't much that can stop a Pinsir once it starts moving. So yeah, I go for the safe Hydro Pump here, and I'm expecting here to switch out into Blissey, so I go for a Volt Switch, maintain my momentum. Here I can either go into a Heatran, my Heatran, or go in the Conkeldurr. But seeing as he has a Volcarona, I want to get some rocks up. So I go into my Heatran. This is a bit risky because if he predicts me, he can go into his Mega Lucario, which is something my team has a bit of trouble with, to be honest. Especially if it's a special variant. The physical one I can kind of play around. The special one, yeah, it can just run through my team if Landers T is dead and Conkeldurr can't kill it with one Mach Punch. So I get up Stealth Rocks, goes for Seismic Toss, does nothing. From here I switch into Conkeldurr, and he, I guess, predicts that. And I'm just going to go for the Ice Punch, whatever he does. If he goes for Toxic, he goes for Earthquake, it's going to take him out. He protects, and I figured he might switch out here, but I didn't want to over-predict. The momentum's kind of going in my favor, so I go for the Ice Punch. And yeah, there's really not much he can do here. I don't know why, but I decided to switch out into Heatran. But I really should have just stayed in. So yeah, I go here, try to do some Lava Plume burns on him. If I was him, I would switch into Blissey, but he decides to stay in. And goes for Pain Split. And the last two turns really did nothing. They've been cancelled out. I want to keep the Conkeldurr at decent HP, just so if his Lucario gets set up, I can survive a priority move and do a what's it called? Do a Mach Punch on it for about 75%. After which I could kill with a Genesect Extreme Speed or a Pinsir Quick Attack. And that's what I really like about this team. It's got a lot of good coverage. It's got a lot of momentum with Volt turning. And I have 3 priority move users in case I screw up and let something set up on me. I can usually kill it. Genesect, of course, is broken as hell. I know this and I'm using it because I love it. I go for another Roar, just trying to get some hazard damage. Maybe switch it out into the Volcarona. Here I just decide I'll try to get some damage off on it, because this is really the biggest thing stopping my Pinsir from sweeping right now. Once it's gone, I can sweep. I go for another Lava Plume here, and no burn for me. I decide I'll just go back into my Conkeldurr, and he goes for Aromatherapy. Now, I was expecting him to go back into the Weezing, so I go for the knockoff. And I don't know Weezing's base speed. I think it's pretty slow, but Conkeldurr is really slow too. So not wanting to risk the Pain Split, I just go for the Mach Punch. I'm really kind of too lazy to do calcs or speed checks, which, as you'll see through these battles, can kind of hurt me. But in that case, it works out. Now, I really had no reason not to go for Ice Punch here, but for whatever reason I go for Knockoff. And it actually ends up working out pretty well for me. I'm expecting him to protect and get the toxic damage to rack up, because Conkeldurr is a huge problem for his team. He doesn't have any safe switches into it. So, expecting to protect, I switch into my Pinsir, I think. Yeah, I switch into Pinsir here. And yeah, just like I said, you know, you take out your Pinsir's main counters, which in this case really was just Weezing, and then you just find a good chance to set up. This thing can only Toxic me, Earthquake won't even affect me. And yeah, I set up a Swords Dance. Now here, the Protect is really obvious, and so I set up a second one. And at this point, his team is about to take a lot of damage. I would have gone for the Protect hacks there and tried to get a second one, but I don't know why he didn't. Yeah, so that's Gliscor down, switches into Greninja, but at +3, yeah, even at full HP, Quick Attack would kill that. The Poison's kind of stacking up on me, goes into his Lucario, and I'm kind of worried he's going to Extreme Speed me, but I don't want to switch out, so I just go for the Quick Attack, and destroyed. Lucario is not like really bulky, but it was at like full HP there. And yeah, just like that, 4 members of his team are down. That's how you gotta play it. Although I'm still kind of low on the ladder as well, so it's kind of take it with a grain of salt. Goes into Volcarona, takes half damage. I just want to end this as quick as I can. Regardless, I'm going to win, but I don't want to go into something else and just have him set up on me and make this last longer. So go for the Stone Edge, take him out, and that's another battle. Alright, on to the next one. This is my first narration, so I hope it's alright. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm trying to show you guys some good matches and just kind of, you know, my thought process and how, you know, how to play this. I figure like my skill level, I'm pretty good, I guess. Maybe a little better than average, but I'm not amazing at this. I'm not like Competeieive or it's Gator or Shofu. They're really good. I would like to play those guys though, if I ever get the chance. But yeah, I like this team because it's one I made myself. For those of you guys that are new to battling, I would recommend checking, if you play on Showdown, that is, checking the ladder and watching replays of the higher players, and just kind of learn from their teams and their playstyles. That's kind of how I got used to Pokemon. Like, even if it feels uncreative, it's a good way to kind of pick up some strategies. So yeah, I lead with Conkeldurr. It's a really good lead in most cases. The only thing that really counters it on his team at full HP is his Talonflame. But here I kind of I'm making the safe play, not wanting a Scissor to try to set up on me with the Swords Dance, so I go for the Drain Punch. In retrospect, I really should have gone for knockoff and crippled this Aegislash, because as you're gonna see, it causes a lot of problems for my team. Yeah. The music in the background, by the way, I can't remember if I said, it is Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Kong Quest, and it's really sick music. It's really good for background. I really like the game too. It was an awesome game from my childhood. I digress. Anyways, I was really surprised to see him set up a Swords Dance here, because I just been seeing pure mix Aegislash forever now. So I was a little caught off guard. Now really, I should have gone for Lava Plume or set up Stealth Rocks, but I make a terrible play expecting him to get greedy, and I go for the Roar. But really, there was no reason for him to set up another one, considering Lava Plume would take out like half his life. So yeah, now I switch into Rotom. I go for Will-O-Wisp, and for whatever reason he King Shields, which I don't know why he did this. He should have either Shadow Sneaked or switched out into something else, because now I've crippled something that was causing my team problems. I really have to try to preserve Rotom, because with Heatran gone, I have nothing to hard counter his Talonflame, which is a huge threat. I can check it with full HP Landorus, but that's really the best I can do. Garchomp I'm a little worried about too. I'm not sure what its set is. Actually, a really good Garchomp set I used to use, Sub Swords Dance. If you can take out things like Togekiss, then it just wrecks teams. It does a lot of work, because it forces a lot of switches, and a lot of opponents will try to set up status on it. Like Rotom's try to Will-O-Wisp it. You just sub, Swords Dance, or just Dragon Claw, and you can just do mad damage. Yeah, so Aegislash goes for the Sacred Sword on my Landorus T, who takes no damage from that. I just play it safe. This is something I don't want to mess around with. Done some damage, take it out. And seeing as it was burned, it really wouldn't be doing much anyways. Now, I have a couple switches into this. I can go into Rotom, which is max HP specially defensive, like the 5th gen variants, which I do, or I could have gone on Conkeldurr. But I figured I'd preserve Conk's HP, because my Rotom has a more reliable form of recovery. Here, he makes a really good play. He didn't know what set I was. Actually, well, I guess he did because the way I took that. But I could have easily gone for another move there. But it blocks my Will-O-Wisp. And yeah, this is a really good move. I've never seen a sub Greninja before. I go into Conkeldurr here, and I kind of expect him to go into Talonflame, which does a lot of work to my team, like I've said at this point. So I go for the knockoff, but I really should have gone for the Drain Punch, because it would have given me back that HP and put me in a good range. Yeah, so here he goes into Talonflame, and I'm not sure really what he wants to do. I just want to stop him from setting up, so I'm going to Landorus T, drop his attack. And this just shows you how much of a threat it is, because this is a max HP, max physical defense Landorus T. And at +1, he completely just destroyed me. I was weakened to like 65%, but even so, that's just crazy. Here, I don't want to mess around. Maybe he'll switch into his Garchomp. So I go for just a Hydro Pump. And he stays in, does the Brave Bird, and I pray I'll hit, and I do. Thankfully, hit my Hydro Pump. If I had not, I might have actually lost to that thing right there if it had Roost. He goes into his Rotom, and I do not want to lose my Rotom yet, because as you'll see later on, I figure I might get an opportunity to heal up against his Scissor if it comes, or I could just use it as Death Fodder. So I switch out into my Genesect, expecting a Volt Switch. I get the attack boost, which is nice. Alright, good. I've been moving the mouse so it doesn't turn black on me again. This thing I was worried about, I have nothing to switch into it, and if it has Stone Edge or even just like Dragon Claw, it'll tear through my Mega Pinsir. So I go for the Extreme Speed. I really wish I had Rocks up too, because that's the lack of residual damage starting to hurt me. I didn't go for Extreme Speed here. Why didn't I go for Extreme Speed? I misremember that. I thought I did. I guess not. I'm kind of just hoping he doesn't have a Stone move here, because I'll survive a Dragon Claw. It'll do about 60%, I think. So I predict this, and this was a bad play on my part, but it ends up working out. I thought that he was just a regular Rotom, so I stay in and just do a return. But I actually survived the Volt Switch, which I was really surprised to see. I go for the return here, and bam, destruction. Now I feel this was a misplay on his part. If he'd gone straight into Rotom, I wouldn't have been able to get my Rotom in here and heal up. Because after that damage, I can tell that he's a more bulky defensive Scissor and not so much max attack. So my Rotom, even though it's not physically defensive, can survive at this range. And yeah, get off. Yeah, it lives at 3%. Get off a rest, and then Rotom can just sweep his team from here. Good match, Taw's Dog, my homie. How long is this? It's about a half hour now. Another half hour, I think. It's 8 matches. And yeah. Just waiting on him to make a move. Not much he can do at this point. Should be able to just take him out regardless. I go for a Volt Switch, and yeah, he goes for Will-O-Wisp. I thought he might go for a trick there. But yeah, he knows there's nothing he can do. With the Will-O-Wisp boosted Drain Punch, I'll one-hit KO him. So yeah, it's the end of the battle. And so on to another one. Yeah, so this team, I see the Mamoswine, I figure he'll lead with it again. And my biggest threat on his team, actually there's a couple. I gotta worry about his Garchomp. It's not like a big problem, my Landorus, he has HP, I can deal with it. If my Conkeldurr is healthy, I can deal with it. And also his Crobat, which I don't see very often, but it is something I gotta kind of deal with. So I figure he might lead with his Mamoswine, and so I go with my Genesect. And here I try to pull little hacks on him again, like the other player that I played, go for the Iron Head. And unfortunately I don't get the flinch, but that's really only fair. So I go for the U-turn here to kill him or keep momentum. And my preference on physical Genesect to use Life Orb over Truth Band is it allows you to do so much more. You don't, if you mispredict, you can still kill things. There's not much of a damage loss. Yeah, he goes for Sacred Sword here. He's mixed. I'm max physically defensive, so that does like nothing to me. And I knew he was gonna do that, and I roar. I really should have roared. I don't know why I didn't. But yeah, I go into my my Assault Vest Landorus T here. Yeah, he goes for another Protect, and I don't want to mess around with this thing. It's just putting little punches in my team. I just want to deal with it. I was pretty sure he'd switch out in a Crobat here, but I just go for it anyways. Get a nice crit. And he gets me down to 4% because of the Spadef drop. Oh man, I'm tired. It's really late. Oh, so yeah, I decided to use Landorus T as Death Fodder. You never know. That's something you should always do. You should always try to, if you can, save something without something else being crippled, then you should always save it. It's always worth it. Because worst case scenario, if there's something that you don't have a safe switch in for, you can use your Death Fodder. And this is something good players will be doing. Also, what I try to do is I try to figure what the other player would be doing if I was in their position, like what would I be doing, and try to play with that in mind. But the thing you don't want to do early on is try to over predict what they're gonna do. If you have a safe play to make, you should just do it when it's early in the battle, if you have nothing to lose. And so he goes into Charizard here. My thought is the only reason he'd bring this in on a high HP Rotom Wash is if it's Charizard Y and he wants to Solar Beam me, which I could survive if he's timid because I'm max special defense, but there's a good chance I won't. And so I switch into my Genesect, predicting that, and just like I thought, he goes for the Solar Beam. I survived that. Now he's seen the Iron Head, and he should know that I have extreme speed because that's what all physical Genesects have. So I'm expecting him to go into Aegis here, but I don't want to mess around. Like I said, you don't want to over predict if you have a safe play to make. If he goes into his Aegis, I do have Flamethrower, so I'm fine either way. So my best play here is just go for the extreme speed. If he goes into anything else, it's going to do a nasty chunk with the attack boost and Life Orb. So yeah, he decides to stay in. Crit didn't matter. Big threat going for my team. Yeah, that's another thing my Landorus T has a Assault Vest for, is it can survive a Fire Blast from Charizard Y with Modest. So he goes into Garchomp. I figure I just want to get some damage off on it. So I stay in here and go for the extreme speed. I get a crit, and that crit kind of mattered. But whatever, we all get hacked. Now, I go into my Pinsir here, I think. Yes, I go into my Pinsir. And at that range, I can kill it with a quick attack. So yeah, I go into Pinsir. I go to Pinsir. And me knowing that he knows this, I expect him to switch out. And so I go for a Swords Dance. Yeah, so he switches out, I go for a Swords Dance. And this was actually, in retrospect, a bad play for me, because I didn't know Crobat's speed. I figured it had like 100 base speed, but it's actually, now that I checked it out, it's like something like 120. It's really high. So it would have been much smarter of me to do Frustration and then finish it off with a quick attack, which would have won me the game right here if I'd done that. But that's why you should know your speed tiers. And yeah, so my Pinsir didn't do anything this match. So I go into Heatran figuring he doesn't have anything to hit me with, probably has U-turn and Brave Bird. And so I go for the Lava Plume. He goes for Defog, removing both the hazards, which is fine. It's fine with me. My hazards have done their damage. And you moved your own hazards as well, which is great. Actually, I don't even know why he removed them, honestly. He would have been better off roosting or using Brave Bird on me, or U-turning into something else. Okay, so here I was kind of thinking he would use Belly Drum. And so I just go into Landorus T, and this is why I say it's good to keep Death Fodder. Lower his attack, he's gone Superpower. And from here, I'm pretty sure he's Choice Banded because he's using Superpower. I go for Will-O-Wisp because it'll cripple anything of his remaining pokes. I miss it, of course. And I expect him to just go for the Shadow Ball here on my expected Will-O-Wisp, so I go for a Hydro Pump to finish him off. Now, I wanted my Rotom to keep its HP. I can survive any move from this Garchomp, but it'll leave me really low to the point where Azumarill can KO me. So I decided to switch into my Conkeldurr. I probably should have switched into my Heatran because it's not going to serve any purpose in this match. Because here, if he switches into Azumarill, then my Conkeldurr really can't do anything. But I think he predicted me to switch out, so he stays in, and that works out really well for me. At this point, my Rotom should be able to finish him off. If all goes well. Yeah. I don't know if I told you guys in this, I actually have my volume of my computer muted right now because for whatever reason my headset, I cannot separate the playback of the headphones from the microphone, so if I mute one, I mute the other. I spent a few hours trying to figure it out online, but it seems impossible with these headphones. When the mic is recording, when the mic is going, then so is the sound from the speakers. So yeah, I missed a Will-O-Wisp, and I'm a little worried here because he did more than half of my remaining HP. I am going to either rest or Will-O-Wisp here. I think I just risk the Will-O-Wisp. If I miss it, I honestly lose at this range. But no, thankfully I get it. And he gets a crit, but I still live it. If that crit was a bit more, then it would have been really bad. Go for the rest here, get my HP up, and it's basically my battle. Yeah. The reason I use rest chest over pain split, although pain split is really good on Rotom, I find there are often times where the opponent will try to status you, and rest gets rid of that and gets your HP back. And also you can feign a choice item. If someone's a lot slower than you, they can expect that your choice, and they'll try to take advantage of that. You just predict around it, and you can nab a free kill sometimes. It's also pretty good for Smeargle leads. I lead with Rotom, they Spore, Full Switch out, go to Genesect, U-turn, and maintain momentum, or kill them, which is another benefit, because I have nothing to take sleep on this team. I just really gotta predict the opponent's use of it. So yeah, here he just stopped responding. I thought maybe he was a little upset, and I was gonna just let the time run out, so I set the timer on. But he actually comes back. While we're waiting, my Heatran I'm running is a max HP, max physical defense. The reason being for Talonflame and things like Doug Trio that would usually take care of Heatran. If Heatran has close to full HP, you can actually survive a Jolly Doug Trio Earthquake and finish it off with another Lava Plume. That is if the first Lava Plume does not burn. So it's kind of it doesn't have to worry about Doug Trio as much. I can still get my rocks up. And yeah. Roar is really good for like baton passers or things trying to set up on me. I don't have Toxic. Yeah, my only status on this team is Burn, which is what I need, because I can use burned opponents as an opportunity to set up my Pinsir. As I'm doing this again, I'm not sure if I said this as well, but Pinsir, although it's kind of brittle, is really it's alright physically, like defensive wise. Okay, anyways, yeah, I leave with my Conkeldurr, he goes with Mind Shell. I expect to fake out first turn, so I just go for a Drain Punch. Now here, I go for the knockoff, expecting a U-turn into his Crobat, because I just want to get some damage to that. Or his Rotom. But he actually goes for High Jump Kick, which I figured he would know that it wouldn't KO me and he wouldn't go for it. So either he predicted me or he just didn't know how much damage it would do. I knew it wouldn't kill. Anyways, I go for the safe Mach Punch. I don't want to mess around, and it takes him out because he stays in, which is good. Honestly, if I was him, I would have switched into either Jirachi or whatever his name is. I'm so tired. Okay, yeah, so I expected a Volt Switch, so I switched to my Landorus T being that guy. But as you can see, it didn't work out very well for me. Because I'm Assault Vest, I know that he's Choice Specs to kill me one hit, because even Max Special Attack Choice Scarf won't kill me. So I bring out my Rotom, I figure he's going to switch out, and I go for Volt Switch, get some momentum. And here, I want to get my rocks up, just to pressure his team a little bit. So I'm going to my Heatran. Now I haven't seen any Jirachis since Gen 5, where I used to see it like every other game, and so I didn't know what to expect. And it actually is a physical set with Drain Punch, which is really odd, but I guess, I don't know, not terrible. It's probably 4 attack. I didn't want to switch out. I decided I'd just try to go for the burn at 30%, you know. And yeah, you can just see how well Heatran is taking these hits with that physically defensive bulk. So I go for Protect, try to get the leftovers back. gets another drain punch in. And another lava plume. To my dismay, no burn. I figured he might go predict my protect here, but I went for it anyways. And he does not. Or if he did, he just didn't care. I have enough HP here, I can survive another one. So I go for another lava plume, hoping that I can get the burn. Yeah, and no burn. At this point, seeing how little it's doing to Heatran, I figure... Oh no, I go for another protect. Okay, seeing how much damage it's doing to Heatran, I figure I can go into my genesect. I just noticed he didn't have leftovers. I wonder why he didn't have it. Does he have resto chest? Or maybe he had expert belt. It's probably expert belt to bluff that choice scarf. So I'm pretty sure that I'll outspeed him. Based from the damage, I think he's adamant. So being hasty, I can just go first, get the U-turn killed off, and get out of there. Looking at the remainder of his team, he is probably going to want to get rid of rocks. So I go into my Heatran again. Just so if he does go into his Crobat, I can 2-hit KO it with Lava Plume. Now here he goes into Hydreigon. And against Hydreigon, I can't really do much. I figured he'd predict the protect and maybe set up a sub or do something like that, but so I go for Roar, but it doesn't work out. He kills me with Dark Pulse. Now I realize at this moment that Hydreigon is actually kind of a problem for me. If it's scarfed, his choice if he's scarfed, his Dark Pulse will kill my Genesect, and if it's not, everything else on my team basically is threatened by it. So I decide to go into Conkeldurr and do the very obvious Mach Punch. Now I'm kind of confused by his play here. Like I really, if I was him, I would have gone into his Crobat, but he decides to stay in and let me take out half his HP. I think at this point I'm for about 45 minutes in. I think I've hit about like 1700 or so. I haven't been stating it after the battles because I can't really tell, I'm just guessing. When I first narrated though, it said it. So yeah, I killed off with the U-turn. And I go into my Rotom. Oh, I know if his Genesect has Energy Ball or Giga Drain, I can survive it because of my max special defense. So yeah, look at that damage. That's pretty solid. 40% damage to me, just about. He goes into Crobat, and I think this was a misplay, to be honest, because it allows me to go into my Genesect. Because I can't kill it with Pinsir at that range, and even though I'm not boosted, Extreme Speed should kill it. I'm not sure what he goes for, if he goes for Defog or Brave Bird here. Yeah, he decides to stay in, I kill him off with the Extreme Speed. He goes into his Genesect, and I don't want to switch around, because if I over-predict, it could end poorly for me. I have an advantage right now, so I figure I just go for another Extreme Speed to get a little damage off, and then next time Genesect comes in, I should be able to kill it with a quick attack from Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir's quick attack will do about 50% or so. He over-predicts and goes for Giga Drain here though, expecting I Rotom. But I had no reason to switch into it. So here, knowing he's scarfed, I go for Flamethrower, which actually does a lot. I was surprised it did that much to Rotom. Here, I just go for an Extreme Speed, take it out, in case it was actually scarfed and not specs. And he decides to forfeit at that point. I guess he realized he couldn't kill both my Rotom and my Pinsir. So yeah, that's puts me up to about 1920 rating. And my Reaper's Requiem, I'm going to do one more battle. Try to hit 2000. So I can tell right away his team is a Trick Room, and I am friggin' terrified of this. There's a lot of stuff on his team that's just going to cause me problems. His Conkeldurr, his Victini, and Reuniclus. Reuniclus is really trippy looking. It looks like a fetus in jelly. Anyways, it's kind of irrelevant. I figured he might want to set up his rocks with his Rhyperior. So I think I lead with Landorus, or do I lead with Rotom? Yeah, I lead with Landorus. Now, not being able to really hurt this thing because I know it's really physically defensive, I just U-turn out, and I go into what I can most threaten it with, which is my Conkeldurr. Now I was a little worried here. I'm not sure how much a +2 Shadow Ball is going to do to me. Figured I could live one of them though. Go for knockoff, and he goes for a Trick Room. And here I just go for another knockoff. If he wants to switch out, I'll do some decent damage to anything. Yeah, she has no reason to switch out. So he goes for Shadow Ball. It takes 60% of my life. And I actually took that pretty well, I'm surprised. My Conkeldurr is max HP, max attack. This is no special defense investment. It's just the 50% boost from AV. And he goes to Reuniclus here. I'm pretty sure he's going to Shadow Ball or Psychic. So I switch into my Heatran. Do I? Yeah, I switch into Heatran. And he goes for the Psychic, yeah. And that's resisted. That's a quarter of my life. That's pretty solid. It's a lot of damage. Here I protect, just stall out Trick Room. And he overpredicts. I have really nothing to switch into it, so I just stayed in and went for Stealth Rocks, hoping he'd miss his Focus Blast. But works out well for me. What do I do here? Oh yeah, okay, I roar as he goes for Trick Room, and this is pretty interesting, but Trick Room has a lower priority than even Roar, so Roar will go before it, which is pretty cool. So no Trick Room for him. Goes into his Rhyperior. I expect him to set up rocks to go for Earthquake, and he does just that, he goes for Earthquake. Now, I'm pretty sure he'll have the Ice Punch, but I just want to get some damage off on this. I get a useful crit, and I survived the Ice Punch like a boss. Now here, the switch should have been pretty obvious, but I wasn't sure Rhyperior got Trick Room. I didn't want to over-predict, so I go for the Earthquake, and he brings in his Trevenant. And this Trevenant caused me a lot of problems in this match. I figured it'd just be a standard set, but as you're gonna see, it's not. So he goes for a Trick Room, and what do I have to worry from a Trevenant? I'm a Heatran, right? I'm a Heatran, and he has Earthquake and a lot of attack investment. So yeah, so much for my Heatran. Here we go into Pinsir, knowing I can threaten him with quick attack. And Rhyperior is really bulky, so he lives at a point where another quick attack cannot kill him. So here I'm forced to switch into Landorus T. Oh no, I go into Rotom Wash. Okay, that was actually a weird play. I don't know why I did that. Or maybe I thought he was going to Ice Punch. Yeah, but that didn't help me in any way. Now my rotom is crippled. But yeah, at least the Trick Room's gone here. I just go for another Earthquake, I think. Oh no, I go for an HP Ice. Okay. Just in case he switches Trevenant in. You know, actually, thinking back, I probably should have used that against it when I first switched into it. Oh well. So, yeah, now he's back out to his Trevenant. He's probably in a Trick Room. So, I think I U-turn out into my AV Conch. Demon Fist. Oh no! Oh, okay, I go into Pinsir. Take the Shadow Claw. And it actually takes it pretty well. I was surprised. And at this point, he has nothing to switch into a return. That would just destroy his life. Here I go for return, and he sets up a Trick Room. Grioniclus is really bulky. I'm surprised it took that so well. Killed off with the quick attack. Brings in his Victini now. I want to save my Pinsir because it's my win condition, so I want to try to lag out this Trick Room. Maybe kill the Victini with something else. So this Victini is max HP, max attack with probably 0 speed IVs. That's what I'm assuming. So he can outslow or outspeed in Trick Room. The leftovers too give me a bit of longevity. So he's at half defense now. He's at -2. I bring in Genesect and I do not get the attack boost that I wanted. So at this point it seems unlikely that I can kill it. Yeah, I can't kill him with one hit. Recreate, and yeah, his Victini is doing work to my team right here. But that's the end of Trick Room. And even if it wasn't at this HP, I can kill him with a quick attack. I go for the return anyways. And his Conkeldurr cannot kill me with a Mach Punch, even a Mach Punch crit. So this is my match. GG, corny fag. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Let me just show you my rankings. So I think I hit 2,000 with this. Let me see. Showdown. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Yeah, here we go. This is me. Rank. Self. Oh, I guess that command doesn't work. Rank. Silly fuck. Yeah, so 8-0, 2040. That's not like a really high score, but I figure that's kind of pretty good for just making this account an hour before my original narration. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I always say my skill, I'm not like really good. I'm not like Competeieive or Shofu or those guys, but I think I'm alright. I hope that you guys enjoyed the battles. If there's something you'd like me to use, like if there's a set you want me to use, a gimmick or whatever, I can try it out, make a team. The next team I'm using is going to be a Charizard Y team that I've just made, that I think is pretty solid. And yeah, I know Genesect's pretty broken, but while it's in OU, I'm going to make use of it. So yeah, I know if you guys are going to comment on that. Pinsir though, Pinsir is a huge threat. If you guys haven't used it yet, I really recommend you try it, because all you have to do is remove a couple things from a team, and it can, as you see, just put holes in team, just tear them up. Even against good players, there's not much they can do. Another one that's really good that I might make a team on is Mega Lucario. The unpredictability of the physical and special sets. If you predict wrong, you bring in your physical wall on a special set, or bring in your physical wall, or your special wall on the physical set, then it can just win games right there. And that's one of the main reasons I have Assault Vest Lander's T, because it's an answer to both of them. It can survive +2 flash cannon with 80% or more HP. Anyways, I'm kind of just talking on. It's been a long narration. Those of you who stuck with it the whole time, I appreciate it. If you liked the video, let me know in the comments. If you think there's something I could do differently in my narration. As I said, it's my first one, so leave that there. I'm open to suggestions. And yeah, keep it real, and hopefully I don't have to re-record this a third time. Yeah, that would suck. Alright, anyways, cheers. Take it easy.